Hello, hello, hello. It is Tuesday and I have a fun card for you tonight. Let's just get all the gadgets doing what they need to do. Let's see if we can get them to work today. Yes. Right, now if I can just see the comments and we will be good. What are the chances? We'll see. Okay, well, we'll just do this and hopefully people will join us and everything will be good. So welcome everybody to a fabulous Tuesday. I am back from Disney. We had a fabulous time and I need a vacation to get over the vacation and to get over Mega Meet and everything else that went in between. So some of you I met at Mega Meet. So as always with my videos, tell me where you're watching from and say hi. I love to see what you're all up to. And as you can see, first of all, I'm starting off, we've just got a few more days of this amazing starter kit. Yes, when you become a demonstrator with Stampin' Up on my team, your kit will contain $165 of product of your choice, which is what I absolutely love for $99. So if that's something you're interested in, hey Pamela, make sure you send me a message. Our team has so much fun. There's a lot of artwork that we share. We have quarterly meetings. We just do all the fun stuff. It's great. I love it. I love my team. I really do. Anyway, so if you're interested, shoot me a message and I can tell you more about that. But tonight, a new book. Yes, I know I showed you a little bit of it last time, but I'm going to share with you some artwork tonight using the Celebrate Together. I love this paper. You know I do. So it's got this fun background on this page. And then if you can see here, you can see all the different papers. And I'm going to use some of this paper. I'm going to use the back of some of this paper, which is this one. We are going to also use another coordinating paper pack that matches this Celebrate Together. And it's called Cheers and Sips. It's so much fun. It really is. So I just thought very quickly I would share with you the layouts that I created with this. Very quick and easy layouts. Somebody asked me at my class yesterday, how do they get the instructions for this? They just buy the product. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. You just buy the products to create it and I'll send you my cutting guide for free. So, no, there are no photos from this. I was scrambling yesterday. So we used the Designer Series paper. I used the Flower Garden Foils paper, which is shiny paper. Basic cardstock. I added in some black. I added the Fresh Freesia ribbon, which I'm obsessed with. And some of the pearls. These are some of the pearls that you can see. They come in 3 colours. I have a pack open somewhere. Do you think I can find them? No. So there's a brand new pack. Look at those, aren't they pretty? I think I might have used them on a card that I made last week or the week before. It seems like forever since I got together with you on this platform, even though it really isn't. It just feels like ages. Anyway, I used 2 of the new ink pads, Strawberry Slush and Secret Sea. So this is one of the layouts. You can see that flower foil paper here. I've used it on both. I also used some of the Strawberry Slush cardstock. And then I didn't use black cardstock. I used basic white and then the in colours. And then I made this fun layout. And again, you can see some more of those foils paper and the whatever it's called. The Strawberry Slush ink. So unfortunately this video has stopped, so I'm hoping that I am still going, but that has stopped. So as always, Facebook is not my friend. It drives me insane. I'll put the shopping list for that up on here so you can see it, but I wanted to share some cards and I'm going to make a card tonight with some fun techniques using this. So the first one I created was this one. Oh goodness, Facebook. I really dislike Facebook sometimes. I really do. Whatever. Anyway, this one, I used the Wave embossing folder in the background. And can you see this die here? So if I pull the dies out, this is the Cheers and Sips paper. Oh, now it's decided to work. Right, Cheers and Sips. So you can see this die is this one, this is this, and then all of the other images fit all of these fun images you've got here. So these are these fun dies. Just before I show you this again, I'll just give you some ideas of what we were talking about using this. This is obviously the umbrella, the drinks umbrella. But it also could be an umbrella on a beach. It could be, you could take the pick that is meant to be for the olive, and that would become, whoops, your beach umbrella stick. Yes, does that make sense? I thought it would be kind of fun to do that. These could be bubbles. This is the orange, but it's a bubble. This is the olive, which you can see here, the blackberry, the ice cubes, the lettuce, shape where you could make a Bloody Mary. You've got mint leaves for a mojito. I love this set. It's so fun. Cherries, strawberries. How fun would that be for a summer fair or a summer card or a picnic invitation? But this image here is makes the pattern. So if I hold the card up to the camera, I'm hoping that you can see that texture. Yep, can you see that in the background? And that is that texture. So if you look at it, there is no solid line around the outside. So it's not going to cut out a shape. It's just going to put the pattern into the cardstock. So I'm hoping that you can see that. If I lift these lights up just a whisker, I'm hoping you can see it. Can you see that? Isn't that cool? I love it. I really do. So one of the, I'm going to show you a piece of art where I actually cut out the cup, and then I embossed the pattern inside the glass. So you got one of those frosted fun glasses that remind me of my childhood in the 70s. Show your age, it doesn't matter. This is the lavender stalk, so again for another fun drink. So put these away and out of the way a little bit, and then I can show you what I created. So this card, like I said, here is that pattern in the background, and then these images are all cut from the paper. I just hand trimmed with my scissors. You know Sarah, she loves to sit and fussy cut, so that was an easy thing for me, just to sit. I was watching a movie and I just sit and snipped and snipped. And then again, here's a piece of that embossed foil flower garden paper. It's so pretty. I really like it. The next card I created, if you notice in the book, there was a piece with lots of small images. Obviously, these came out of the large image paper. So I sat and I cut some of those very large images out of the back, and then on the small image paper, I cut out lots and lots and lots of small ones. And just some white cardstock. This again is the new strawberry slush cardstock. That's a new colour. I brought in Blackberry Bliss for my words. I didn't want black, so I pulled in that really, really, really dark purple. And we're actually going to use that today. Because it pulls up the purple in this paper, and then just popped up some of these images on the Stampin' Dimensionals. That's the textural 3D tape, foam tape, and I think those are super pretty. Again, added in the pearls like that I just showed you, just like I did. All right, so you've seen the layout, you've seen the cards. Let's get on and make this card. Now, I apologize. You know me, I always like to give credit where credit is due for the artwork that inspired me, and I'm so sorry I didn't write it down. So I have absolutely lifted this off somebody else's website and I didn't write it down. Do you think I can find it again? No, I can't. So when I do, I will give that person the credit. So again, here's one of those little images, and I am again just going to trim out the rest of that lime out of the way, and I may use this, I'm not sure. So what I've done is I've taken some of the cloud cover. This is that new soft blue color. I'm really, really liking it, and I ran it through the new embossing folder. This is called the Mini Corrugated 3D Embossing Folder, and you can see that it turns your cardstock into this texture. Okay, really, really like it. Now, what I've also discovered, when you're using some of these embossing folders that are very textured and very detailed, I like to cut my piece of cardstock a little bit too big and then trim it to the size I actually need. Because obviously when you're doing something with this much texture to it, it can alter the size of your finished piece of cardstock, all right? So the best way to attach this, because obviously adhesive, a tape runner, I don't want to squash any of those. I find the best thing to use is the Tombow Multi-Liquid. I really like this for this technique. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do, oops, I've got glue on the end of it. I've been using it all day, so hopefully I've got enough left. I've got another bottle here. Okay, so all I like to do is just go zigzagging up and down so that it means it has a contact in more than one spot. Okay, and we are just going to attach that like that. And you do have a little bit of wiggle room, so you can slide it. So that way that glue will adhere it without it using a tape runner and it's sticking down. Okay, I have a piece of that paper. You remember those were those very large images. So on the back of it, it has that cloud cover. It almost looks like a star, which is super pretty. I have a piece of Petunia Pop ribbon. And I have a piece of Fresh Freesia ribbon, okay? So I'm actually going to add both of these to the back of my paper. So for this, I am actually going to use my tape runner. Well, I would if I could find it. It has been crazy since I got back. I've been so busy and, oh, Sarah Caroline, where did you put it? Well, we can use the liquid glue. Oh, there. We can use this one. It's an old one, but it works. All right. So I'm just, hang on. I've just put adhesive on the ends, and I'm actually going to stick my ribbon to it. Let's try and get it straight on the front. That's always a bonus. All right. And then we will put a little bit more adhesive on that. And then I'm going to attach my ribbon over the top. So you've almost got those two shades of the purple. And then we're going to bring in Blackberry Bliss ink. Right. I really like that. Okay. So for this, I am going to go back to my liquid adhesive again, and I'm going to glue this to the front. Okay, so I'm going to be pretty liberal with this because I do not want it coming undone. Okay, splodge it around. Whoops. Try not to keep your fingers out of the ribbon, out of the glue rather. And then we'll just attach it something like that. Okay, I do like embossed lines because it makes it easier to keep it straight. All right, so you know Sarah and her circles. You know that my favourite die, come on, comment up below if you know my favourite die before I tell you. You all know what it is. It's fabulous. It is the Spotlight on Nature. And again, you can see here, I'm hoping that you can, oh my goodness, there's me trying to check for the things and it's gone, but never mind. You can see I used that background die to give me some pattern, and I'm going to attach it there. And again, I am using the liquid adhesive on here because it's not a flat surface, so I want to make sure that it stays where it's meant to stay, right? So here we go again with this Tombow liquid adhesive, and I like this because it dries really quickly. It doesn't take long, so we'll just put some. I'm not putting it over the cut area because I don't want it squishing up through the cardstock. All right, so we're going to put that. We'll move it down just a whisker. You know, that's the technical term, a whisker. And then again, I'm just going to hold it in place just for a second. So let me pull in my images because I actually went ahead and I've already stamped these images and cut them out because I used the StazOn black ink and then let it sit just for a minute before I started to colour it. I want to make sure it's completely dry before I start to colour with the ink pads, because obviously you do not want to get ink everywhere. You want it to be, you know, you don't want it smearing. I mean, it should dry straight away. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways. We're going to do a cup. So I told you that I was going to... you could use this same dye on the cup, and here is a cup that I did earlier on. And what I did is I took the Blackberry Bliss ink and I took the water painters, and this is that really large one, okay? So, and as you can see, I picked up the ink and I just went across that cup with the widest water painter to color it, because I wanted to see what it would do if I got it wet. And the nice thing is you can actually see the pattern in it, which is fabulous. I thought that the water on the paper might actually stop it from showing, because sometimes the water will distort the cardstock and then you can't see it, but you can actually still see the pattern. It has flattened it a little bit as obviously the water came through from the back, but it's still pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not unhappy with the way that it actually looks. Frankie's watching. I finally got some words up. I don't know why, but it suddenly decided it's going to work. So Helen, I saw you were watching, and there was Pamela's watching, and somebody else's, and I apologize, I missed your name. But so you could actually do this, and I was doing it really quickly to see whether it would work. And if you're going to do this, I would take it up to a line of the pattern, and then that would keep it straight. So I could actually use my glass as though it had got liquid in it, a wine. Another way you could do it is you can cut it out of the paper, and this image is cut out of the paper. I'm just going to use my scissors and just trim off that top edge. It's a little bit close. It's a little bit large, so I'm just going to trim those pieces off. So this was cut from the paper. So you've got options. You can stamp it, you can cut it. I'm going to pop it up on 3D foam tape. You know I am. And of course, I've moved everything. And now, the fact that I've got 13 packs of stamping dimensionals open on my table, do you think I can find one that is available? Now, we're going to open yet another packet. Oh no, let's use those because they're right there where I put them, ready for this class. Some days are harder than others. I babysat that baby last night until 1:20 this morning. So the day after is always a little bit dodgy. My brain doesn't brain the way that it should brain. Okay, so I'm going to just show you the watercoloring because it's so easy using those water painters. I just want to find the smallest one. So as you can see, I've already transferred the ink. So all you do is you put it together and you give it a smush. And when you open it up, there is your ink and your palette. And this is what you're going to use. You never take the ink off the ink pad. Now, I showed you last week or the week before how you could rub your ink pad on your glass mat and use this as your palette. So you have options on how you're going to do it. All right, so you can see I've already done the greenery, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my piece of paper towel and just make sure it's not too wet. And I'm just gonna, you can see this is a super intense color. So we are going to just hold it still, and I'm just gonna dot it around. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it a bit darker, man, that's gonna be dark. And again, you can come in and you can dot it around. It doesn't have to be an even color, and the more you move the paint around with the water, the lighter it's going to get. And if you don't re-ink your paintbrush as you paint, it's going to get lighter as you fill in those images. So again, just dotting the darker around, and then coming as the ink dilutes as the water comes down the brush, it softens out those colors. All right, now I am going to do the lavender, but man, I'm going to water this down because I want this much lighter. So still that same color, but by using the diluted area, it gives me a much softer color, which I prefer for this lavender. I don't want it to be super dark because you don't want it all to be one solid color. You need some variation in this. Oh, I've got another piece of lavender there. Let's do that one as well. We have options. I'd rather have too many images for my card and then not use them and have them as spares for another one, than not to have another and then have to go through the hassle of, oh, I've got to cut another one, blah, 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 blah. If you wished, you can wipe this out. You don't have to. If there's a lot of water, like I squished there, I'll take the extra water out, but leave the ink in the palette, because then that's not diluted. It will still stay there. I can still use that with my water painter. You can also use it with your Wink of Stella and colour with that. All right. So, as I say, I cannot remember the name of the lady that created this card. I apologise. Now, I also used my dies, which I've put somewhere safely, sosafely.com, that I can't find them. Sarah. Okay, they are squares, circles, and banners. That's what's on those dies. And if I find it before the end of the class, I'll show you. Okay, but I also use this set, this Blooming Phrases. This is such a pretty set. It really is. So I decided to use the thanks. And as you can see, the end of the swirl would actually be longer. But it doesn't matter because it's gone to the end and I like it. So I didn't need the whole of that long tail. This is so sweet. You can actually use this to put the flowers around the end of the tail and use these tails as the stems of these flowers and leaves. Such a cute set. But that's where the thanks came from. So we'll add some 3D foam tape to the back of this, because you know I'm going to need to pop this up. And then I can start stuffing in the rest of the embellishments. So let's do this and get this together, and we can have a little bit of fun with it. So this is such a cute set. It really is. So we're going to have I'm going to bring this cup down, or this glass down just a little bit, because I want to put all of this foo-foo la-la in there. So let's put the saying on, and then we can build up the decoration. I can always trim these shorter. Oh, how cute is that? Me likey a lot. So yes, we'll put that there. I'm going to use one of my small Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, tweezers. Now, if you can see, or I hope you can see on camera, that this is curved because it got wet. My brush when I water brushed this was super wet. So it has made the cardstock curl. And I'm not mad about that, because I want, again, to have some dimension coming off my card. So let's do that. And then again, we're going to put a little itty bitty mini dimensional. I love these mini dimensionals, and sometimes that's just the perfect size. Sometimes they're still a little bit big and you can just cut it in half. That works well. So let's take that little mini one and I'll slide it in the glass. So cute. Yes. I'll have another one here. We've got a positive bouquet of greenery in this glass. You know, sometimes you need the shrubbery, as far as I'm concerned. I love me a good mojito with a good amount of mint in it. So this is one of those cards, and I'm going to put this blackberry up here too. Yep, so we'll use one of these little ones and we'll use it at the top, and then I'm going to put it alongside the glass so it's the same height as the glass. Oh, how cute is that? Isn't this fun? Fun. Right, so I did want some greenery coming off here, and that's the reason I chose the old olive for the words, is because it matched the greenery. All right, I think we'll have something like that coming down. This is a bit long, so like I said, it's too long, snip off the end. It doesn't have to be that size. Okay, so I'm going to just chop this one in half. Easiest way, stick it to your fingers, and then just cut down the middle. Just mind, because scissors are sharp, obviously. You don't want to end up with blood on your cardstock. I can fix most things on your project. Actually, that one's going to be too close to the ribbon. So let's take this one off again and just have it at the end. I can fix most things, but I cannot take blood off cardstock. Although it does make a very good reason to put another embellishment down, right? You have to look for the positive. Blood on cardstock is just another reason to put a flower. Okay. We've all done it. We have, every single one of us, I'm sure. If you're a crafter, you've snipped your finger. Or the worst bit is when you're cutting something and you snip that bit there. Man, that hurts. That is absolutely killer when you do that. I want that again. I want that shorter still. I don't want it too long. And we'll put another blackberry there, and we are going to pop this one up. I know it's already on items that are popped up, but I don't care. How cute is this? And for my purple loving people out there, you will love this little card. Oh yes, we'll stick that one over there. But can you see how quickly this came together? Sometimes it takes longer just to decide what you're going to do, and then once you've decided, actually putting it together goes super quickly. And I'm just trying to decide if I need this piece of lime in there. Oh, I absolutely do. When in doubt, more embellishments, too big. Again, put it between your two fingers, and to support it and just snip it in half. This piece we can use on another project. This piece will fit the lime. Put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. All right, and then we will put that piece of lime. Oh, need to tuck it behind the blackberry. How fun is this? Do you like it? I would do if it was straight. There we go, that's a bit better. All right, so gems, let's put some gems on it. So my choices is I can use let's open up this packet. I like, when I get these packets, I actually like to come up the side and just slice off the packet, because it is easier to slide it in and out sideways than it is. Oh yes, I do like those gems, those pearls. So that's my one choice. So these are the adhesive backed pearl trio, or I could go a more pink route and use the strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems. But I actually think I like the pearls better. They have more of that purple theme, because basically we're doing the purple and blue. Do you like this card? I thought it, as I say, I thought it was so pretty when I saw it. So we'll just put in some little pearls. This is almost as pretty as some of the cocktails that we had while we were in Disney last week. Okay, we'll take this one off. I don't like that one there. So I'll just grab it and just, come on. So as you can see, it's just left the adhesive. So we're just going to very carefully take that adhesive off. Now I could use it again, and I can just stick it back to the back of that pearl again. I'm not sure I actually need it. Or I can use that liquid adhesive. I do need it up here. Yeah, it needs to go there. And I'm just going to use the back of my tweezers just to push it down. There, how fun is that? Do you love it? I think it's adorable. I really do. I think it's such a fun little card. And I hope it inspires you to get this set. It's, as I say, it's a brand new set. So a combination of the blooming phrases, the corrugated embossing folder, and then, oh, I found another card as well. So this card was made by Kim Allen. She was on the trip with me, and that's what that would have looked like. That would have been, again, so pretty, you know, and that was just done very, very quickly, obviously. Sorry, distracted by pretty things. I took part in the swap on the cruise ship, and this was her card, which I thought was adorable. Again, she's cut these out of the paper and used the floral side. So much fun. And this is the back of this paper here. So I hope you liked this little card. I hope you liked my layout. Make sure you check this out. Go and check out the opportunity to be a demonstrator and join my team. As I say, we have a lot of fun, a lot of giggles, 4 get-togethers a year. They're usually themed parties. We have a private Facebook group where we support each other and share artwork and do all of the fun stuff. So make sure you become a demonstrator with me today. And if you're not interested in being a demonstrator, make sure that when you place your order, you opt in, because then when you do, you're going to get 10% off. And PS, demonstrators get that 10% stamping rewards on anything they order on top of their commission as well. So we get double dibs as demonstrators. So anyway, Anyway, that's enough of that. I will see you next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Have a fabulous week wherever in the world you are watching from. Bye!